Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast. Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Sara Avalos. Sara Avalos is a multifaceted master's prepared nursing professional with a rich and diverse background spanning various critical areas in healthcare. Her journey through the nursing profession is more than just a career trajectory. It's a testament to her deep-rooted understanding of the multifaceted nature of nursing and the healthcare industry at large. Sara has served in various roles in her career, including a combat medic in the U.S. Army during 9/11. Serving her country in the time of need, Sara began her healthcare journey with invaluable frontline experience. She has also served as an infection preventionist, nurse educator, program manager, and nurse consultant. Well, good afternoon, Sara. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Brian.
Absolutely. I appreciate you making the time, jumping on to do a fabulous conversation behind the mic today. And Sara, we're going to jump right into your questions here. I want to talk a little bit about your career in healthcare. You started out as a combat medic, and thank you for your service, by the way. You were a nurse, a compliance officer, consultant, senior executive, and now the owner and CEO of MD Solve Systems. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Thank you for the question, Brian. I came from poverty and I was told that I was not capable and not smart. So in joining the military, it pushed me into very uncomfortable situations. And through that, made me see that I was in fact capable. And I think that that's part of the secret sauce, if you will, is to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. I moved in different countries. I lived across the country, the US, and I lived in Japan. And what ends up happening is that you go to a new place, you have to learn everything, the culture, because every state is a new culture. I don't know if every state is like their own country when it comes to healthcare. And I'm sure you know about that. And with that uncomfortable situations, then learning a new skill, new job, new everything. And then what I did is I learned it so well that I trained who would succeed me. And so that always made me feel really good about going to each of these places. And I'm sure you're probably wondering why I moved. And after being a combat medic, I then became a military spouse. And then I had to move every 3 years. And so what inspires me is that realizing that we are capable of more than we think we are and learning through mistakes and that it's okay not to be perfect.
That's awesome. Thank you. And I love everybody on the show here has a unique story, very special. That's special to me. I've had about 750 some odd guests now, and each one of them has been so special. I appreciate you sharing where you started out from and where you got today through all the challenges and opportunities that were presented in your life. So thank you. And Sara, with your diverse skill set and experience, it's no wonder you started a healthcare consultancy. What was the genesis behind your company?
So in learning, as my profession shows that I'm a registered nurse and a master's prepared nurse. My first graduate degree is in nursing education, and the second was in nursing informatics. And so knowing that with emerging technologies, I realized that I needed to learn more than at the bedside. So I learned to program and I learned CSS, Python, HTML, SQL. And that's how I developed the platform, MD Solve. Now, this is a proprietary software and modular where I put different softwares together to make it a unique, offering, and really made me feel that I was capable because I had learned so many things along the way. I felt like, well, I became a nurse and I learned all these things. Why not program? And because it replicates, right? So you build it once and you can modify little things, but it can just continue to exponentially serve you. And in doing so, serving other people, serving nurse entrepreneurs, healthcare practices that I serve. And I also put it on a secure server, making it HIPAA compliant.
That's awesome. And it's coming out. We can hear it through your story again. Sara, you became a nurse to help others, but transitioning, you're actually helping the clinicians now. So you haven't given that up, but you did take that extra step, that extra challenge and learn this technology so you can support the clinicians now. And that's an amazing story. So thank you. And Sara, You work with many healthcare and nurse entrepreneurs. What's the one thing that most businesses look to you for help on?
So as I'm in the beginning stages within the first year of starting MD Solve, I find that people ask me about different things, knowing that I have that background in compliance. So compliance consultancy is something that even this week I have another meeting about. What I've also been sought out for is, and I'm sorry that it's not one, private practices that need communications platform and automations and front desk management. One in particular that comes to mind where a physician doesn't even have front desk staff, but the software serves as the front desk management, and all she does is see patient after patient. So that's been rewarding to see that it helps even when somebody doesn't have a front desk, or even the money to make that happen. The other thing that comes up is like coaching new nurse entrepreneurs, because they see that their training is nursing, but finding their voice and finding their transition point where they have so many skill sets that transfer into communications, into teaching, into being entrepreneurs and like IV drip businesses or house call businesses, all different kinds of things that nurses can do outside just an acute care position.
Thank you. And again, love the fact that you're able to, again, identify a problem that a lot of these nurse entrepreneurs have. You're able to provide a solution for them. So appreciate that share. And Sara, last question of the day here. Are you leveraging any of that new and emerging tech in your business? And if not, have you found a cool tool or app you might share with us today?
Sure. And hopefully it's not something you've heard before, but maybe you have. So I utilize OpenAI API and I connected it to my platform in order to serve as a conversational chat. With ChatGPT, we've heard this before. It's been in the news everywhere. But to actually have that secure connection where computer talks to computer in the cloud interface. So that has been super helpful whereas before you couldn't have that kind of unique conversation. It was very, if this, then that prior to ChatGPT. And with that, it's just phenomenal in that space in healthcare and answering questions, FAQs and so forth. So chat.openai.com. And I would recommend to use the paid plan. So that way you can use the free plugins, and those plugins give you that much more unique breadth of way to use ChatGPT instead of just typing in. So that I have done. And I would recommend folks use it as an idea and writing assistant. The other one is eureka.io. So EUREKAA.io. Anybody can type that in. And it's a course book validation and content creation software where you could see what people are searching for, what people are wanting to learn and know. So that way, if somebody doesn't know what to write and wants to write a book or wants to create a course or a workshop or anything like that, that software is good for that purpose.
For sharing. And absolutely, I would say the last 8 months, maybe 10 months, it's been all about conversational or generative AI. We talk probably about every other podcast, maybe more, about ChatGPT, and absolutely we leverage it here as well. And by the way, Sara, I've interviewed a lot of folks out of Silicon Valley that have been working on this stuff for years. And then all of a sudden, OpenAI comes out with ChatGPT for the masses, which has really flipped some things upside down. But appreciate what you're doing with the platform and giving us, our audience, some great ideas. So thank you again. And Sara, it was such a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for having me.
Bye for now.